CodeDev. This gentleman right here is a game extravaganza. He's been involved in things like Elder Scrolls, Fallout 76, Red Faction 2, Summoner 2, Dust 514. We get the exclusive in with him as we speak here tonight. If you guys don't have a drink popped already, go ahead and pop one because we'll both be sipping as we're tipping. All right. Everything sounding good over there? Gotcha. Mike, you mind snagging me a beer, please? All righty. Feel pretty good right now. No, yeah. There he is. How's it going, brother? Am I coming in clear to you?
Yeah, you're a little bit blurry and you got a little bit of lag,
I'm
but
having
we'll be able to work
issues
it out.
here and I'm here. Hold on.
I think we would have figured this out by now. I had my settings right. I'm not muted. There's my mute. Where's my microphone? Let me try this.
All right. Yo. So you can hear me, I just can't hear you. All right, so I just can't hear you. That's
Check. Nothing.
I can't hear anything over here. Hold on, they say that they can hear you on the production standpoint. I just can't hear you from here, so they're about to work on it.
Wow, they have production standpoint? That's pretty cool. I never had that.
All right, say something.
Hello.
All right, there we are, brother. How's it going?
Hey, we figured it out. Good, man. How you
Yeah,
doing?
there
A
you
long
go.
time no see.
Oh, for sure. It's been a while. You got some aggressive ass spikes behind you there on the wall.
Yeah, those are my. Do you remember the Legion of Doom from the
Yeah, who can forget it?
WWF? Yeah, they're my custom-made Legion of Doom shoulder pads.
Hell yeah, man.
I
How's
proposed to
everything
my
going?
wife while wearing them. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, that's legendary. How was your trip to LA?
It was good. It was nuts, but it was good. We
Beans
were,
and Toast perform?
yeah, we saw Beans on Toast on Thursday, and then we saw. Do you know the band NoFX?
No, but I could get familiar with them over time.
Well, they're a big punk band. They've been around for years, but they were playing their last three shows ever. So we did Friday,
Oh shit.
Saturday, Sunday at NoFX shows. So, yeah, needless to say, Monday and Tuesday I was a complete wreck.
Understood. Good lord, man. Well, I'm glad you traveled safe, and thanks for taking time out of your day to sit down and talk with me for
No
sure.
worries. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Where are you actually located nowadays?
I'm on the eastern shore of Maryland right now.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, all
Very
the
cool.
way on the water.
All right. Well, I am on
So
the western shore of Washington right now. Well, actually, that's kind of a lie. I'm a bit inland, but yeah, near Seattle nowadays.
I got you. You're from that area, aren't you?
Well, I kind of consider it home. I'm actually from Sacramento, California, originally, but I think I've spent the most time in my life in Seattle, so I kind of consider it home.
I got you. If I'm recognizing that hat logo correctly, that's Hellcast Anglers.
That's my fishing gear company.
Fucking right, dude. Your merch looks sick as hell. Right when I
Oh,
saw it, I was
thanks,
like, it's
man.
definitely Ryan. Admit that.
Yeah, yeah. We did I ever tell you the story behind that company?
No, we've had a lot of stories, but never the fishing
Yeah.
company one.
Well, we kind of started it. I was touring in a punk band with my buddy, and like as you get older, you can't really just drink all day when you're on tour in a punk band.
Yeah.
So we found there are only two things you could do with like 9 hours in a new city, um, and it's you either go golfing or you go fishing.
So
So,
you decided to buy a fishing company?
well, we made one, but yeah, uh, we started finding all these punks that play in punk bands that go fishing. So we decided to make a little punk rock fishing club, and then everybody liked the gear, so we decided to start selling
Yeah, the merch is dope.
it. Well, thank you, I appreciate that.
Hell yeah. So
One of
what
my
brought
many
you to the
businesses.
what brought you to a layover in Alaska?
Actually, well, that's not. I didn't have a layover in Alaska. Actually, that was. So I own a charter fishing company up there. So yeah, a lot of what I do is around fishing. So I have a buddy up there, and we own a couple of boats, and we run charter trips for cruise ship passengers up there in Ketchikan, Alaska. So
Oh hell yeah.
if you ever
Yeah,
make it to
you
Alaska,
got
look
your
me up.
neck in a lot of endeavors, brother.
I do. Yeah, I think I run 8 companies now at this point, or
I got
something
you.
like
So
that.
it started off with the video game passion. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what's allowed me to do all this other stuff. But yeah, video games and punk rock kind of saved my life, I think. So,
I got you. What was punk rock your original love?
well, I kind of. I think I was more of a metal kid back then, but I really got into technology and making video games because I figured, I needed to finance my career as a punk rock musician, as a punk rock star. And I would make money in video games for about 5 years, and then I would be a big rock star. And 33 years later, I still make video games. So you can
Well,
imagine how well that worked out.
it's done you well, man. You've worn quite a few hats in the video game sector of things,
I
haven't you?
have. I've been around. Yeah, I've been around the block a few times. So
I got you.
it's
What's do you have a favorite project you can lay your fingers on?
oh geez. I mean, there's a ton over the years. So I mean, I definitely have a few. I worked with Nintendo back in the mid '90s in their hardware department. So I got to work on GameCube and Wii doing that. That was really cool because I got to meet like a ton of my heroes in the video game industry, including like Shigeru Miyamoto, like the guy who makes Mario and Zelda and
Oh
stuff,
shit.
and
Okay.
yeah, a bunch of the old school guys from the '80s. I got to meet them, so that was a ton of fun. But the one I was working on when I met you, Elder Scrolls Online at Bethesda, that was a really cool project to work on, and I was on that for a decade, I think. It
I
was
was
a
gonna
very
say
long time.
video games of that nature have to take forever.
Yeah, I think that started development in 2007, and here we're sitting in 2024, and it's still running.
I got you. Through
So,
the pattern of developing a game of that size, obviously plans change from the original vision until
oh
when you
God.
guys finally get done. Yeah.
Oh well, it's never done. That's a myth. Where I mean, they're still developing it to this day. So, but yeah, plans change in a big way. In fact, with ESO, with Elder Scrolls Online, when we released it on the PC first, and we released it as a subscription game, kind of like WoW. Um, but at that time, the industry had really kind of pivoted off of subscription games more to the microtrans model, um, and so we had to like scramble and change the whole business model of the game. And luckily, we released on console a year later. When we had kind of made that transition, it kind of gave us a second life. So um, since then, and with a couple other changes, yeah, it's actually become a pretty darn good game. There were a couple of years there where we weren't so sure. We were
I
just
got you.
burning through millions of dollars.
If you could, that sounds like I'd have a heart attack if I had that problem
It
right
was
now.
a little
I'm not gonna
scary,
lie.
man. Yeah, it was definitely a little scary.
Do you think with online gaming becoming, or at least from my side, has become eye opening a little more hardcore than console gaming? Is that statement even true that I'm making, or two, has it changed the way you guys run production of software and games?
Oh God, yeah, it definitely has. Well, so when you say online gaming versus console gaming, I mean, do you mean PC versus console, or do you mean
Yeah.
online? Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, all the consoles are online now too. So you have a game like Elder Scrolls Online, which is a big MMO, and people are playing on the PC, and people are playing on the Xbox, and people are playing on the PlayStation. So they all have those capabilities now. But it's changed a lot. It's changed a ton on how we approach games. So like one of the one of the big ones, and this might I don't know this might account for some of the reasons that games ship and they're really buggy. Um, is
Okay.
we now have the ability to update games. So if you think of back in the day, back in the '90s when I started making games, they came out on the cartridge, and whatever you shipped on the cartridge is whatever you shipped. That's just how it was. You couldn't update it. So if you had a bug in the game, you just had a bug in the game. But now we can ship updates, and we do. I mean, ESO ships updates weekly almost um, to fix bugs and that sort of stuff. So I think it's good. We can update a game and we can respond to customer feedback and fix bugs on the fly. But at the same time, I think maybe we have a tendency to be a little lazier than we were in the past, where we go, just ship the game and we'll just fix that later. We'll fix it down the road. So
Sure.
I think that's why you see things like what was the CD Projekt Red game that was so buggy they had to recall it.
Red
Why was it?
Faction 2?
No, 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 I worked on Red Faction 2 actually. No, it was Cyberpunk. That's the one that I'm thinking of.
Cyberpunk? Okay.
So that game shipped, and I think they shipped it a little bit early, and there was such an uproar about it that they actually pulled it off the market and had to roll it for I don't know another year, and then when they shipped it again, it was finally a good game. But yeah, I think that's what happens with stuff like that. And then of course we have to realize that a game is no longer 10 hours of playable content. Now you've got games like WoW and ESO and some of the others that have been running forever, and they have
Yeah.
endless content and endless things that you could do. So
I see a lot of online grief over the last like year or probably even
oof.
more of the GTA 6 release. Obviously that game's fucking massive.
Oh
Um
yeah.
do you think those delays are just like there's another hiccup in the fucking road and the team just needs more time? Like I see people bitch about the amount of time it's taken, but look at GTA 5 and that's been around for what? Fucking over
Oh,
a decade and
for
there's still
forever.
new maps that you could play on.
Thank you for you actually just answered one of the questions I was going to ask you. Can I swear on your podcast? So,
Oh, for sure, man. Here,
okay,
cheers.
okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm
Cheers,
on the
brother.
I'm on sober October, man. I'm on the coffee.
Oh, well,
So
you're good. I'll
fair.
have a drink for you.
Mm,
You're good.
I appreciate that. Yeah, make my liver hurt from the other coast. That
You're good. I'm here
that
for moral
should be nice.
support.
Um, well, yeah. So it's funny because there are two sides to that story, and there are two sides to kind of the online griefing of that. One is the delays in shipping. I mean, it takes so long and so many people to make a game now that things slip. I mean, I remember when I was at Bethesda and we announced Elder Scrolls 6. What, in 2016? No, it was probably after 2020. Maybe is when we announced it. But obviously that game hasn't shipped and nobody really knows where it is. So yeah, people get mad when you have a ship date and you roll over it. But at the same time, people get mad when dev teams have to go into insane crunch modes to ship a game. And that's why those crunch modes happen. If you have a deadline that can't move, but you have a game that needs a lot of fixing, you end up working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, um, for just to get the thing out of the door. Although I do have a funny tangent story to being griefed on
Oh, please share it.
ship dates, which is kind of funny. My first night out in Baltimore. So we met in Baltimore,
Yeah, yeah,
and
sure.
I
Shout
had
out
just
Spirits.
moved there.
Repping a little bit of your merch. I had to,
Oh, nice, nice.
a
I
little bit of
appreciate
dick
that.
riding. Not too much, brother.
One of the other businesses.
Yeah,
Um,
one of them.
so so I was actually hired on at ZeniMax Online to be the lead engineer on Elder Scrolls Online for specifically PlayStation and Xbox. So I didn't work too much on the PC side. And like I said, um, we shipped on the PC a year before we shipped on the consoles. And I was out at one of the bars, actually at the Cat's Eye Pub in
Oh, Cat's Eye's
Baltimore.
phenomenal. Shout out
Yeah,
Cat's Eye. Cat's Eye's
yeah, yeah.
phenomenal.
And
Them windows don't close ever.
I didn't really know anybody, and I was trying to make friends, and I was sitting at the back bar, and the two bartenders were having a conversation about video gaming. And I said, "Oh, here's my chance to maybe make a friend in Baltimore. These guys are about my age." So I said, "Hey, are you guys talking about video games?" And they said, "Yeah, we are." And I said, "Well, what are you playing?" And I swear to God, I think his name's Brian. He turned to me and he goes, "Well, we're playing Elder Scrolls Online, but those fucking assholes keep lying to us." Is what he said. Those fucking assholes keep lying to us about when they're shipping on Xbox, so we have to play it on the fucking PC. And I hate those guys. And like,
I'm one of
I'm
those guys. It's no
I'm
longer
that
a
guy.
friend.
I'm like, what are the chances? What are the chances that the first person I try to meet in Baltimore just shits all over me in my game
For
and calls
sure.
me a liar? I was like, nah, oh well,
How did
check
the rest of that
please.
conversation go?
It was actually okay. We got through it. We became pretty good friends down there for a while. But yeah, it was just funny that that's how we met.
No, that's hilarious, man. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Um,
yeah, what are the chances of everywhere in the world? Like, the first thing is somebody just shits on
hey, well, you probably wouldn't have got that honest feedback. In Baltimore, you might have. You might
you.
not
Yeah,
have
yeah.
gotten that honest feedback from most people, but
Yeah,
um,
we'll see.
yeah, you've recently taken on a role. Yeah, we'll dive into some other roles later. You
Oh,
recently took
sure.
on a role in the Unreal guys, right?
That's right. That's right. So yeah, we just started a new company. Myself and two of my friends who are
Mike and Rick.
Mike and Rick. Yeah, they're UK based. So Mike is in London and Rick is in Ashburn, I believe. But yeah, so the kind of theory behind the company, we're selling engineering services into larger game companies. So the way it used to work is a game company would hire up a bunch of people. They would make a game, they would ship it, and then they would lay everybody off. And that's why, if you follow the video game industry, you see these massive layoffs, and we're kind of in a down cycle now where everybody's getting laid off. So we're switching to this model now that everything's remote, where companies are starting to hire fewer people, but then they'll go to outsource companies like us when they need people and say, okay, give us 5 people or 10 people for the next year, or the next 6 months. We'll do what we got to do, and they give them back to us, and we can put them on the next project. So we decided to focus on Unreal Engine, if you know that. Like, it's a pretty big. Almost everybody's using Unreal right now, and
Yeah.
I don't know the percentage, but it's a large majority of video gaming right now is focused on Unreal. So we decided to be the Unreal specialists, and yeah, our pitch is we're kind of the Navy SEALs of the Unreal world. So if you find a problem you can't solve, give us a call and we'll solve it for you.
Oh yeah. How
Um,
did the
eh,
relationship with those guys come about? Did you meet, like, were you the one that met them, or did they kind of reach out to you, kind of thing?
so a little bit of both, actually. So I met Rick. Rick had you'll notice a pattern here. Rick had started a company a few years ago called the Multiplayer Guys. And I was working with them. I met him randomly through industry contacts, but I was working when I was at ZeniMax Online. I was working heavily with the Multiplayer Guys, so I got to know Rick really well through that. And he ended up selling that company for, I don't know the total, but I think it was a pretty decent amount of money. Um, millions of dollars probably, I would
It's
assume.
always a good day.
Yeah, so he did that, and I think he realized that he just really enjoys building companies. So he wanted to do it again. We kind of formed the Unreal guys, and I realized that what I really like doing is building cool engineering teams and working on cool games with cool people. And after the Microsoft takeover of Bethesda, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on Microsoft, but they put a lot of freezes on spending and on team building stuff. So I kind of figured, ESO was doing well. Now was kind of my time to move on, and now I'm kind of finding my passion again for talking to weird video game people and putting them on strange teams and solving problems. So it's
Yeah,
it's
and being
good.
on
But I
some
should
random white
clarify,
guy's podcast is crazy,
yeah,
man.
that's right.
Life's blossoming right
Um,
now, brother.
yes, this is always what I wanted. Um,
I
but
appreciate you.
I should clarify. Actually, technically, the name of the company is CodeDev, and
Code Dev.
the Unreal guys is in quotes because we didn't want to get sued by Epic.
Oh, I got
so,
you. But they can
so
they can check your guys' stuff out on the unrealguys.com, right?
Yes, that is correct. That is the website right now. Although, yeah, we might have to change it. So if anybody's listening and you can't find the UnrealGuys.com, look for CodeDev. That's CodeDev.com,
I
or
got you,
just
man.
look up my name. You'll find me somewhere.
Do you prefer the offices in London or where you're at now?
So actually, we don't. I guess we technically do have an office in London, but it's not very big. We're fully remote. So I mean, we're working with our team is about, geez, right now, yeah, I think we're about 16, and we have guy in Buenos Aires, we have a couple guys up in Canada, a few guys in the UK, a couple guys in Spain. I think we're talking to a person in Poland, so we're really international at this point. But I love to travel, so I'll go and visit any of those guys anytime.
Oh yeah, they're speaking there. Speaking of traveling, I mean, you've got Spirits Tavern over there in Baltimore, Maryland. Like we've
Yeah.
talked before on how that story kind of came about.
Oh yeah, that's a weird
But
one.
yeah, certainly. Cafe Disaderi that you
That's
just
right.
recently over the last year scooped up. How the
Yeah.
hell did you end up in Nicaragua, brother?
Dude, yeah, so again, I do really weird stuff, and I think when I told my friends I was doing this, they're like, "Of course you are." So yeah, the story behind that, I love fishing. Like that's my goal. My goal is to retire from video games someday and just spend my summers in Alaska going fishing, and then my winters somewhere warm going fishing. So I kind of when I get bored, I look at Google Earth and just try to find out of the way places because I'm looking for unspoiled fishing and adventure. So I found this island off the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua called Little Corn Island, and it looked idyllic to me. It's in the middle of nowhere.
It's beautiful.
It's about a mile long. There are 1,000 people on the island. There are no roads. There are no cars. In fact, I believe the only motorized vehicle on the island is the riding lawnmower that they use to mow the baseball field. So there's everything is just like donkey carts
I'm
and
just curious as to what team comes and plays them.
oh yeah, it's just locals. Yeah, no, no, nobody comes there.
I was waiting for it to be like a double A team.
Yeah, no, no, no. You have no idea how primitive this island is. But it was funny when I first found it. I found it about 10 years ago, and the directions to get there, it was insane. It was literally like fly into Managua, which is the capital city of Nicaragua, and then like the next day take like $300 to the airport, and if Miguel is there at this stand, like pay him and he'll put you on some cargo flight to the bigger island. And then it literally said once you get to Bighorn Island, it said wander down to the docks. This is a quote: wander down to the docks and find somebody with a boat and pay them like $10 to take you 7 miles over open water and drop you off on the beach somewhere.
So 300 at the airport,
Um,
10 on the island will wrap up your
Yeah,
trip. Yeah.
but like that scared the hell out of me because it did say if Miguel is there. Like sometimes he doesn't show up, so you could
Is
just
there
be
many
caught.
Miguels? Is
Uh,
that your fear?
it's
Like, dude, what
well,
if there's
it's not that there are many Miguels. It's that one specific Miguel might be missing, and I don't think any Miguel can put me on a flight.
what a stroke
Um,
of luck?
so yeah, well, so it turns out, well, I didn't go. I didn't go at all. But my wife she works in international travel, so she had heard about this fantasy and actually found that a decade later they do book that flight online. It's called La Castania Airlines now. So you can get that flight to the Big Island, and now there's a ferry to Little Corn Island, but it's like a refugee boat basically. It feels like you're escaping, to from Cuba to Miami or something.
You're defecting.
But you can get
Just
there. So we found that, and the first time we were there, we were sitting at this little beachfront cafe. It's absolutely beautiful, and we got to know the owners, and they were getting older, and they wanted to sell. So yeah, we ended up making an offer, and now we own a beachfront cafe on a Caribbean island in the middle of nowhere. So again, our goal is to my I have two stepchildren. So my wife has two kids, our two daughters, 13 and 17. So our goal is we're going to do the house in the suburbs, and the house within the bus lines for the school district. And once we get the youngest out of the house, we are fucking off to the middle of nowhere.
I fucking cheers to that, brother. I'm out of shot glasses right now, so I cut my water bottle in half.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah,
That's
figured you'd
the that
enjoy a bit of the punk
that's
rock of
pretty
that
that's
one.
pretty resourceful. I like that, man.
Well, yeah, don't want to. If I throw away half this bottle, I'm not completely trashing the whole recycling thing.
Right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you can still recycle it. But well, what are you shooting?
Right now, Belvedere.
Oh, you're going fancy.
It's my business partner. He's the fancy one.
Ah, well, hey, I'm very
Yeah.
impressed. So, wait, let me ask you where I know where you are, but this looks like a real studio and stuff. You have like sound
Yeah.
stuff
So my
behind you, and
idea was to show you. We have a camera that shoots the entire studio on certain productions that we do.
okay.
So this is everything. I'm actually gonna pick the camera up, step away, and just show you around. But this is the actual studio. We have a lounge area for guests to sit here and watch. Right
Oh
now, they're
wow.
watching you and I on the big screen. But I'll show you
Wait,
real quick.
you have guests that are watching me? That scares the shit
Well,
out of me.
there's one guest here, but yeah, we fill it up sometimes.
I should have put makeup on.
Oh no, makeup's not needed. Got
Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
back wall. That's the guest.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, yeah. So it's under studios going shit. It's constant construction, constant development.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah,
like
we know that. Well, so I used to, I kind of still do had my own podcast, but it was out of my buddy's movie studio, and
yeah.
I know that he was constantly changing and
Oh
updating
shit!
and
By the way, speaking of movies, congrats on the new fucking movie.
God, yeah, I think that's job number 8. I think we've oh no, I think we missed one, but uh um yeah, we yes, yeah, to switch to that, we're making a movie called
Yeti with a
Yeti with a
machete.
Machete.
Yeah.
Yeah, our Indiegogo campaign just went live a few days ago actually, and
Yeah.
we've
Proud
had the
member.
trailer. We've had the oh, thank you. We've had the
Yeah.
trailer for a little. Well, actually, we've had the trailer for about a year and a half, but we were trying to do private funding, but funding is kind of a swamp right now, so we decided to let it go. But yeah, we have that. That's a strange one too. We thought of this idea. I don't make movies, but my two friends, Jeremy Morrison and Nick Gardner, very much do. Nick was on The Wire, and he's worked with Ridley Scott, and he's the cinematographer, and Jeremy is kind of a producer, jack of all trades guy. Both awesome people, and actually, I do my podcast in Baltimore with Jeremy Morrison.
I
I
got
don't
you.
know,
I was gonna say
producer.
you have a couple of the guys from Super Troopers working on your film too, right?
Well, that's not official. I can't officially say that.
Okay. It's just it
Nobody.
might be a thing.
Oh no, and yeah, that's unconfirmed gossip.
Okay, I got you. I
At this
listen to
point.
tabloids a lot, so I
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
ask.
But we do have, so officially, we do have one of the actors from Yellowstone.
Okay.
Mo Brings Plenty is actually in the trailer. So he's awesome, such a super sweet guy. And then our lead right now in the trailer is from The Wire. And then we also have the executive producer from Detective Pikachu, Don McGowan, who's also the head. Well, he was the head of legal for Bungie, the video game company.
Okay.
But yeah, he's helping us navigate the legal waters. Which, if anybody ever tries to do something like this, get a good lawyer because it's ugh.
Difficult.
Well, yeah, there are just so many mistakes you can make, and so many ways somebody could rip you off or steal your ideas. So yeah, uh, it can get dicey.
I can't
So
even imagine, man. I see some of the stuff we go through with it's on top of, filming a podcast here, which we have three
yeah,
different podcasts on the BTB Revolution. We also allow people to come here and like record music, or
okay.
we'll do a reaction to a couple clips one day, and then 20 minutes after we release it, it's like somebody owns the right to this 10 seconds worth of sound you played, and you're like, what in the fuck? It's like redacted or don't post it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's the smallest things too. It's always seconds.
Yes, yeah. Just so people know, Yeti with a Machete is already trademarked and copyrighted, and we do own all of the URLs, Facebook groups, Instagram groups, and everything. So
I
we
got
uh,
you.
we we took it. Don't try to steal our idea.
I
Just go
feel
to
you.
go to the Indiegogo and help us with it. Don't try to steal it.
Yeah. No theft here at the
That's
BTB.
right.
Not in the
That's right.
gorilla
I
zone.
appreciate that. I
Yeah.
I need I need one of my ideas to pay off now.
Oh shit. um, taking a weird, let's take exit 3 on the conversation street, if you will.
Okay.
So video game events.
Oh yeah.
I know they host them everywhere. Was there ever
Sure.
one that stuck out to you? You were like, oh shit, we're going to Vegas this weekend. This is a fun fest.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, yes, definitely. So there's a little bit of a difference because it's gotten so big that there are now video game fests for players and there are video game festivals for makers. And they don't necessarily cross over. So a couple of them still do. Gamescom in Germany. That is kind of for fans and developers. But there are things like PAX, which is really a show for fans, which is great. And some of the stuff they do at Comic Con and that sort of stuff tends to be much more for the fans as opposed to a development conference. But geez, yeah, ones that stuck out. There used to be a show. It's gone now. It kind of comes and goes called E3, and that was the big video game show where all the new titles, like kind of before you had video streaming and all the stuff that we have now on the internet, it was where you could really go to see games that were in development for the first time every year. And back in the day, man, companies would spend crazy money on these lavish parties. But I can't even imagine how much they would spend. I went to a Sony party once, and Jesus must have been like, I don't know, 99. I'm probably misremembering that. But Sony had rented out Dodger Stadium
Damn.
to have their party. They had the Foo Fighters play. I think George Clinton played. I know Tommy Lee from Motley Crue was there. I think at that party, geez, what was the all female band that wasn't the Spice Girls? Um,
Oh shit.
the
You talking
Pussycat
about the
Dolls.
Beyonce one?
No, I think it was the Pussycat Dolls. Yeah, they played as well. And I mean, the entire floor of Dodger Stadium was full, and all the booze was free. And it's just like, how much money is Sony paying for this part? It must have been millions.
Yeah, a
Um,
gross amount, much less than they would have paid now that they have Otani and they're killing it.
oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Signed a
Um,
guy for 700 grand, and he's got over Tommy John surgery. Comes in
yeah,
and just dick slaps balls out of stadiums all season. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's very true. For the record, that night when I was there on the field at Dodger Stadium, I was not dick slapping any balls. I was there for I was there for professional reasons. But no, yeah, there are a lot of those stories
Solid confirmation.
in older gaming, and it's become a kinder gentler industry, which is probably a good thing. I look at some of the things that we did back then, just in terms of excess and yeah, the liability of giving out free alcohol to 5,000 people,
Stadium full of
yeah, in a
people. It's
stadium,
crazy.
probably wouldn't fly today.
Probably
It
not.
definitely did then.
Mark
So
the moment in
another
history.
reason I'm doing sober October, because I've ruined my liver through game industry parties.
Okay, something no one ever knew about. 'Cause I feel like every industry, no matter where you hear it from, they're like, "Oh, we drink," and I'm just like, I think it might just be a working thing.
Yeah, I think it is. I
If you
definitely
dive
think.
hard enough into your career, I think you just might wind up with a beverage in your hand.
Yeah, well, I think anytime you get a large group of older professional people who are on expense accounts, most of them have families and they don't get out, so you suddenly find yourself in the middle of Vancouver on the first Friday you've been out in 2 years. Yeah, you're gonna tear it loose.
There you go. Uh,
Um,
Canada wise, is that your favorite city traveling about? Vancouver?
oh, geez, yeah, favorite city traveling about. That's a rough one. Just was in Vancouver for actually for a video game show called XDS.
Okay.
And I do have a soft spot for Vancouver, but traveling wise, where's my favorite? Ooh, I mean, I love Tokyo. I I have a soft spot for Shanghai because I lived there for a little
I was gonna
while.
say you did a stint
Yeah,
somewhere in
yeah,
another
yeah. I
country.
lived in Shanghai for a while, but that's definitely traveling. I think I would love to travel back there, but I would never love to live there again. Budapest is one of the places that I absolutely love, and it's a beautiful city. But I also have really good friends there. So yeah, but I'm sure I haven't been everywhere, so I'm gonna reserve judgment.
I got
There's
you.
probably there's someplace better out there, and God damn it, I'm gonna find it.
I got you. For anyone that has not been to Washington, you're familiar with there. What's a great place? What's the bar scene like out there? What's
Oh,
because I mean,
geez.
I met you through or in Baltimore with
Yeah.
the Baltimore bar scene, which I love. I love traditional hole in the walls or
Yeah.
people that I'm not going in to sit at a place where I have to put on a button up shirt unless it's something
Yeah.
important. Like I'm not
Y-
that's those not my kind of people.
yeah. Well, I'm the same way, obviously. So I mean, I'm closest to Seattle as a major city, but I'm actually about an hour north in a little place called Snohomish. And yeah, we actually have a really good, well, I would say dive bar, but I don't mean that pejoratively. Bar here in town called the Old Inn Tavern, but it's a dog bar, kind of like Spirit's Tavern was. You can bring your dog in, but they have a back patio area with a fire pit, so you can sit around the little fire pit. But yeah, downtown Seattle, there's still some good quality dives down there. I was just we were just at the Rickshaw, which is a karaoke bar. I got way too drunk there. I think I slipped on something and skinned my knee.
The
I
later I
was
got in
waiting
my
waiting on
20s,
my
the more I
Uber.
love karaoke. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, and West Coast has way more karaoke than the East Coast. At least that was my experience when I was there. It's at every bar around here. There's a little bar that my wife loves to go to that is a dive bar that I don't mean positively. It's a real, and I
Kind
think
of
it's
like the
called
Mount Royal Tavern. When you go in there, you're like, I wouldn't even piss on the floor
oh,
here.
dirt church.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
dirt church. Okay.
Have you told you know why they call it dirt church, right? Because they
No.
have the ceiling is it has wallpaper on it, like the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Okay.
And I think they did it in the 70s or 80s when Pope John Paul wanted to come to Baltimore, and they thought if they wallpapered the ceiling like the Sistine Chapel, Pope John Paul might come by to this
Yeah, come
horrible
to
bar.
this horrible hole in the wall.
But you do not go
Pope.
to Dirt Church without walking out, like, or being carried out, because it's what is it, $5 for like a natty bow and a shot, but the shot comes, it's like a full rocks glass.
Oh no, yeah, you could tell that the liquor board has never once stopped there to measure anything. Like,
Yes.
yeah, like they give you a plastic cup that's about
Oh,
that
dude,
big,
yeah, it's
and it's about
insane.
full. And then I always love when you order like one or two drinks and a bartender comes up and they're like, "Well, it's kind of cash only right now," and I'm like, "You thieving motherfucker! Like
Oh,
you
they're not. Well, they're not thieving at the Mount Royal Tavern over there, Dirt Church.
No,
They
I
just
wasn't
don't want.
speaking on. I wasn't speaking on
Okay.
Mount Royal. I was.
Yeah, they just they do not pay their taxes, in my opinion. So they just want everything to be cash. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm not an accountant, but yeah, I think they just don't want the paper trail. But I actually do have a dive bar story, real quick, that I hope I can tell,
Of
because
course.
this was as bad as I love my bars. This may have crossed that line. I have a dive bar in Vancouver, actually Vancouver, Canada, that I love to go to called Funky Winker
I didn't
Beans.
know Canadians were divey.
Oh, it can get bad.
Okay.
But it was called Funky Winker Beans. And part of the directions to get to Funky Winker Beans is like you go to the street, you make a right. When you see the large group of passed out heroin addicts, step over them, go through that door, and you'll be at Funky's.
You'll
So
be
I
in
was
Funkies.
there, and I don't know, I was there with a buddy, and we're getting old. So I said a very old thing like, karaoke's too loud in here, Andy. Do you want to find another bar? So we went around the corner and saw a little beer sign, and I believe the name of the bar is The West. And
The West.
as
Oh,
we
we.
were walking in, I think it's in the basement of a condemned hotel.
That may
Um,
sound shady, but they make for great venue places sometimes. Some
well,
great
yeah, but
dives.
this was pretty shady.
Pretty shitty.
Um, and as we're walking in, they had karaoke there too, but it wasn't really karaoke. It was like a microphone, and you held up your iPhone to the microphone and then sang along with it. And as we were walking
DIY
in,
karaoke.
yeah, the what I assumed to be a very nice woman singing karaoke just passed out in front of us, just gone. And as Andy and I, we like kind of swept in to help out. We thought something was wrong. The locals were like, "Betty's passed out again. Just step
No diddy.
over and whatever." So we got. Oh, there's a lot of details, but this is the weirdest one. We got well, we got Andy, my buddy Andy got a wine. I got a beer. There's no choice. It's just beer. There's no brand, and there's just wine. Not even white or red, just wine. Um, and it comes out in red plastic keg cups, and mine had a cigarette butt floating in it. And I said to the bartender, I was like, "Hey, dude, there's a cigarette butt in my beer," and he just goes, "Oh," and he just takes it out and then looks back at me. And I was like, "All right, well, I guess when in Rome." Um, so we sat at a table, and I'm
When
talking
down
to my
here, you
friend.
drink tobacco.
Yeah, and I'm talking to my friend Andy face to face like this, and he just taps me on the shoulder and points behind me, and I look, and there are two guys, probably in their 80s, and they're in like mobility scooters,
Whoa.
like they
Like
have
hover rounds?
luminous. Yeah, 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 just kind of like the hover round, yeah. And they're in mobility scooters, and they're parked like this way, and they're beating the shit out of each other. Yeah, like like full on mobility scooter, like going at it.
Senior assault.
Yeah, so we were like, whoa, and a bunch of other stuff happened that night. But in the morning, I called my friend Andy, and I was like, dude, have you really unpacked what we saw last night? Because it was kind of amazing. And he goes, dude, I'm gonna remember that for my life. And he goes, do you want to go back tonight? And I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, do you want to go back? He goes, I don't know either. So
I
we
was
may
gonna
have
say if Andy
finally.
went back, I might need to get him on this podcast. We might need
Oh
we
man,
might need that one.
he's a fascinating dude. Andy Gibson. He works for a game audio company. But yeah, we may have finally found a bar that was actually too shitty for us to go back to.
There you go.
So
Shit.
next time you find yourself in Vancouver, Canada, please check out the West in Gastown.
Okay.
The-
If I see
Get that
two
as an
people in,
advertising clip.
I was gonna say if I see two people in hover rounds fighting, I just send them to you, see if it's the same two.
Dude, yeah, I was really like, I never thought I would see that in my life.
Oh, they're getting
Like,
fighting. They're just like they never stop. They never stop.
yeah, yeah. It was very impressive.
Um, man. So aside from everything, how you been recently, brother?
Good, good, man. No, busy, but so I recently got married. I don't know if you saw that
Congratulations, man.
online, but thank you. Yeah, but so to a person I've known for almost 20 years now, we've been really, really good friends for a long time, and but it was one of those stories where like the timing never matched up. Like I don't remember how it started, but one of us was single and the other one wasn't, and then it kind of flip flopped, and then I moved away, and we finally I was living in Baltimore, and we finally found out that we were both single at the same time. So I was like, fuck it, I could fly across the country and do a long distance thing, and it ended up working out. So
Hell yeah, them
yeah,
shoulder
that's
pads made it irresistible to say no.
yeah. Well, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, next to
Did you
him
wear
are
the championship belt?
of course, and well, we
My
have a
man.
set because I proposed to her
Hey,
with the championship belts with the line of "Will you be my tag team partner for life?"
my
Um,
man.
so I did
My
get her a ring.
man
I
right
got her
there.
a
That's
very nice ring,
incredible.
but but yes,
Oh,
we had
I'm
a
sure you did. I'm just saying, my man. My man.
we, but I also got custom made Legion of Doom tag team championship belts, so went over very well.
Dude, that's incredible. Yeah, life
It
is,
was
dude, life is fast, fast, fast. I remember, what was it about? It was right around the time that you were doing the cafe in Nicaragua. I had hit
yeah
you up to say congrats, and you were like, I think you had asked either I asked you where you were, you asked me where I was, and I was like either Miami or I just left
yeah that's right.
Miami. You were like, I was just there, or I'm there now, or something, and I was like, well, that would have been fun.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, we go on the past couple of years. We've been on the Flogging Molly cruise. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Flogging Molly, but that's
do they do
they're
the what the booze cruise down there?
well, so yeah, they do a punk rock cruise.
Hell yeah.
And my wife and I are both punk rock fans, but the problem we're getting older. So like going to an underground punk rock show now, you get the fights and the violence and the mosh pits and all that sort of stuff, which we're fine with. But we're kind of standing the back people now. But if you go on the Flogging Molly cruise, it's all of our favorite punk bands, but everybody is like in their 40s and 50s. We all have day jobs, so nobody gets in fights, and everybody just gets along really well. If you lose your phone, they give it back to you. So it's just a bunch of old people getting super hammered on a cruise ship watching punk rock, but it's kind of our speed.
Well, that sounds more fun, dude. I hate. There's nothing more I hate than going into a bar where I don't know the scene or I don't know the people or I'm not familiar,
Yeah,
and you find yourself on like super reserve mode, where it's like,
yeah, yeah.
even if I get fucked up, I'm not gonna have fun.
Yeah.
I'm just here to blow money for no reason. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, especially as you get older, man, you got to know what you're getting into. It's just I walk into like a dance club now, and I'm like, no, thank you, I'm out of here. I don't,
I don't, dude.
nobody wants
Honestly,
me at this bar.
this is just my opinion on it. Walking into a dance club fucks me up because I don't know what the fuck is dancing. So
Oh,
you
dude,
can't
I've
you can't
never.
just necessarily walk up
No,
into a
it's
nightclub and just be like, "Oh, what's up, honey?" Because he might
oh
look back at you and be like, "What's up?" It's
yeah.
it's
No,
fuck it's fucked.
if
Like
I
it's
don't have a
fucking
guitar in my
creepy.
hands, man, I ain't dancing. It's horrible. I am all like I'm all teeth and thumbs. It's a terrible terrible look.
Shit, well, it seems to have worked out for you. So congrats on
Well,
that.
not dancing.
No,
Not dancing. No, no, that never. That's never been my strong suit.
well, you know,
Now,
you hold it well.
what's your local dive bar nowadays? Do you have a
Honestly, dude,
regular
if I
haunt?
could be as truthful as ever, the bars around here, there's one, fucking
Okay.
sucks.
Only one bar, or only one good
No,
bar.
when I tell you I'm in like when I say I'm in a small town, I'm in a small town. We have two stores and one fucking bar.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy smokes.
like dude, a Viagra pill would run out of here. Like it's fucking crazy. Like I'm not even kidding.
Huh.
Blue
So
Chew gnawed its way into another city.
what are you doing there? How did you end up? Did
So
you run out of
I had a
gas or?
no. So I I had a family situation happen to where
Ah,
somebody needed a little bit of assistance.
sure.
Came down here, and honestly, the only good thing that came out of being down here is the fact that I ran into a childhood friend of mine that had this media zone,
Oh, cool.
and I was able to be a different view, a different tone to the scenario, kind of pair in my own, shenanigans,
Nice.
and it work out.
God
Um,
bless the internet, man. Imagine if you didn't have that connectivity out there.
oh my god, dude! Honestly, we don't even get cell phone signal down here sometimes.
Really? I was just in Long Beach, California, for that music festival this week. I don't know what happened to Long Beach, if an EMP went off there or what, but there is no fucking cell phone reception in that entire town. There's like one, we can get one bar occasionally. Like I went to
Elon
two
used to use,
Starbucks looking.
Elon used to live closer.
I went to two Starbucks looking for an internet connection, and they didn't have any.
Nothing.
It's like, what Starbucks doesn't have internet? Yeah, dude, it was
What,
insane.
Starbucks didn't have internet?
Yeah, it was. I don't. It's a whole giant town with no connectivity whatsoever.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
terrible.
It was very very surprising. And
Yeah, down.
actually,
Good.
oh, sorry. I was gonna say that there's an odd story behind that too. We had rented an Airbnb in Long Beach for the weekend, and we got in late. We had gone to see Beans on Toast in downtown LA, and then we got in late, and we had we had a couple of drinks in us. But I went to type in the code. I gotten an Airbnb with the internet access that had a little office area that I could set up and do my meetings and whatever. And
Oh,
we
sweet
got
home.
there, typed in the code, and the door was unlocked. And I pop open the door, and we look, and there's like a set of sneakers on the floor with like a skateboard, and then up on the counter there was like a half rack, like a half gallon of Tito's vodka that was like 10% full. And then I went to the bedroom and it was locked. The door was locked from the inside. And I looked at my wife and I was like, I think somebody broke in and drank themselves to death. Like there's somebody here. Like somebody is in our Airbnb. So we ran the fuck out of there and got like this
I
little
don't blame you.
Fleabag motel. Well, it's 1 in the morning. What are we gonna do, right? Like the hosts aren't answering. So we just paid for a little hotel. But in the morning, the host was like, "I'm so sorry. We'll investigate. We'll give you a full refund." And we're like, "Well, I I don't need a refund. I need a place to stay. Like I need a place. We're here for 4 more nights. Like I need a place to go." And they never answered. So Airbnb finally hooked us up. I'll put that in air quotes with what ended up being literally just like a kind of shitty trailer in somebody's driveway because everything was booked. So
I
yeah, we're
didn't even
just
know
like
they qualified trailers to be on Airbnb. That's unfortunate.
evidently they do.
Are you sure
And
that's not the worst dive bar you ever walked into?
well, geez, well, I don't think we had a drink in there, so that might not be a qualify as
I
a
would
bar. But
stay
yeah,
sober in a super shady environment as well.
oh,
I'm
you
in
dude,
somebody's
yeah,
driveway right now. I'm not doing nothing.
yeah, dude, it was scary as shit. So yeah, we ended up staying 4 nights in a crappy travel trailer, um, on our punk rock vacation to L.A. It was not good.
Yeah,
And
well,
of
you
course, we had
definitely
no internet, so I couldn't do my business. I couldn't get on meetings and stuff. Like I'm trying to send text messages by like carrier pigeon or something. It was awful.
sending out Hogwarts owls.
Yeah, dude, totally,
Yeah.
totally. So yeah,
Oh,
if you ever go to Long Beach, come up with a plan to be connected because I
probably
don't know
gonna
what
avoid
happened
that
there.
one just due
Yeah.
to communication. I'm good. I'm good to avoid that one, man. No, but that's how
Yeah,
it
it
is
was
sometimes down here. Like, we'll run into like one. It sounds so weird. You'll run into like 1 3 foot space where
really.
I could post a porno if I wanted to, but like then you walk one step forward and it's like you're not getting a text, you're not getting an Amber Alert,
Wow.
nothing,
You should
zero, and it's like, dude, the technology we have in this world.
you should
There's
put up
no
little
reason. Like when I was growing up, it made sense to not have
sure.
service here because
Yeah,
we
but
didn't have
now it
Comcast
doesn't.
here when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But
You should
now
put up
it's
little
like you
signs
guys are
in those
failing.
areas like porno upload areas and see what people do.
That's how we get the traction. Is your movie company open to such videos?
We I will say since we're on camera and microphone, I would say we are not crossing those lines as of yet. But
Okay.
if we fail at everything very miserably, everybody's got their price, I suppose.
Oh, certainly. I'm just saying that there's nothing wrong with the idea of barrels and bad bitches. Volume one. I know some people.
Hmm.
Get something
Now I'm
around.
trying to think of the porn spin-off of Yeti with a machete.
Hey, there you go. Now you got me. Now you got me
Yeah,
questioning.
yeah. Get back to me on
Yeah.
the throw some ideas at me.
I need an encrypted email. I need something not traceable, man.
We always used to do that with the video games that we worked on. We would always try to figure out if we name it this, what is the porno spinoff of the video game going to be? Um, so yeah, that's something you have to consider.
Yeah, man. Well, you learn something new every day. I'm
Yes, that is.
adding. This forehead's not this big for no reason. It holds a little bit. It's up here though. Alcohol and everything has the lower portion in
Oh,
between the
okay.
eyes.
So brain matter floats, alcohol sinks. All right.
That's not proven theory,
Okay. All
but
right.
you never know
Um.
where technology is going to go. But shit, dude, I really appreciate having your time. I really do. I appreciate you cutting time out to talk to me. It's
No
been
worries, man.
great catching up and hanging out. I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to stay in touch.
please
Uh,
do. And I know we talked about it, but the cafe in Nicaragua is now fully purchased, and
are you
we've
guys
got
still
two.
under remodel?
Well, we're getting constantly under remodel, but we've got two apartments in the back, and our cafe manager is down there full time. Kirk always loves company, so if you ever feel like going down there and just drinking
No,
beers
for
on a
sure.
beautiful
No,
white
that will
sand beach,
definitely
let me
make
know.
I will definitely make a full appearance there for sure.
Awesome, awesome,
No,
and I'll
that'll
tell you.
that'll be great, dude. Honestly, I've seen photos of how packed it gets. I've seen the quality that
It's
walks on that beach. It's pretty crazy.
it's pretty weird. Can I tell you one last story about that island?
You
Um,
take whatever story you're willing to share.
okay,
Let's share it.
I'll tell you one last story because this is kind of, well, I'm not going to give an opinion on it because I'm not going to compromise myself. But the
Smart man.
big thing to do on the island for a lot of the people who live there, I don't want to say like locals or just people on the island, is at night you can go searching for what they call the white lobster.
I
And the
got a white
white
lobster.
lobster is Little Corn Island, where we're at, is right on the drug run between Colombia and Miami. And it turns out when the drug boats get raided, they dump everything overboard.
So the white
Um,
lobster's the white lobster. I get. Yeah,
and
the
a,
white lobster.
so yes,
Yeah.
you can find a big duffel bag full of illicit things, or you could also find a big duffel bag full of cash, depending on which way the boat was going. So about every, I don't know, 3 months, one of the locals suddenly gets a really nice house and a really nice television.
Really
And
nice television.
you kind of know that they
The
found the white
cocaine
lobster.
membrane hit the address different. That's all
So
it was, bro.
come on down, and if you feel like it, go white lobster fishing at night.
We'll keep that. We'll yeah. I don't want to label myself here. We'll
I,
keep that
I,
for what it for
yeah,
what it
no
is.
judgment, and don't need any labels yet.
I got you, man. Well, again, I really appreciate you coming through, man. Let's stay in touch. Let's link up.
Definitely.
Let's link up and in person.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Let me know when this gets published. Send me a link. The Unreal guys have already said that we'll throw the link on our social media, and
You guys are
I don't know.
phenomenal. I was gonna say I was gonna ask you to send me any links you or your partners would like
Awesome. Yeah, I'll
advertised on
definitely do
this,
that.
and I'd love to assist.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll send you about 400 because we're always trying to sell something.
All right. Well, we got enough characters for it. We'll make it work, brother. I
Sweet, sweet.
appreciate you, man.
All right.
We'll
Cheers.
edit this part out, but yeah,
Okay.
just stay on for a few minutes.